do a recap, and then we will jump on into this. All right, so we will be doing session number 4 of Descent Into Avernus. This is our own little pre-game sort of mini campaign prior to the start of the official module. Last session, you guys all competed in the speed pits, this massive underground track, riding atop some sort of powered wagons. You're not sure how they were all powered one way or another. Some of them seem to be living creatures, like the tieflings machines. Some seem to be running off of the fumes of alcohol. Others by wind elementals or infernal machinations. One way or another, these things seem to have a life of their own as you raced around this track, jumping pits, climbing walls, having all-out fanboy battles in the streets. I think the distillery tank and the bull wagon, you guys were in the lead for a good chunk of it, with the distillery tank getting a huge lead over top of everybody else. See, the bull wagon, you guys got your crap kicked out of you for quite a while, going up and down in your health for the wagon. The roller dozer, you were actually quite a ways back for a while, dealing with the goblins who you blinded, sickened, stunned, and put to sleep, and every damn thing else, eventually knocking them out of the race entirely. In the end, as you were about to everybody cross the finish line, the rat wheel rolled to a puttering stop inches away from the line and had to get out and push across. The distillery tank, you looked like you were a shoo-in win for this, as for some reason you saw Cantos as you threatened him. You saw the concern, the fear cross his face a bit when you were there, but then this different look overtook him. You seen his eyes glimmer a bit, this smile creep across his face as he slammed on the gas for that moment that you were not strapped in. And the tank already had taken quite a bit of damage, but you got flung forth through the window, across the hood, and into the street where these other cars raced past. Ultimately, he came in second to last, I believe it was, just ahead of the goblins. The mechanical bull, the Hagen wagon, and the roller dozer, you all topped the race as first. Let's see, bull wagon first, Hagen wagon second, and the roller dozer was third. The gore maker, distillery tank, and long thruster came in at the bottom. Everybody else sort of in the middle of the pack. As we ended last session, we got a quick glimpse of everybody crossing the finish line. You would have seen all the fans, all the inmates standing up in this cheer just echo through this huge underground cavernous chamber. You all are going to still be in your cars, your wagons, as you cross the finish line, except for Quinn. You were lying on the street. Those of you who look back and sort of pull your wagons to a stop and begin to climb out will see the inmates all around this cavern start sort of spilling forth over the small walls out of their seats and rushing out into the main common area of these race grounds. Here and there, small riots erupt and cheers. It's nothing overly violent, but you can definitely see some people had money on the line in this, and sentinels here and there breaking up a few battles, handcuffing some inmates and dragging them away. Up on a podium atop this massive petrified stone giant that lies dead in the middle of this raceway, which is up near his upper chest, his beard area, there's a tall podium, and you can see him climbing the stairs up to that as he speaks with several sentinels and then begins to make his way back down to come towards all of you. With the exception of Quinn at the moment, what are the rest of you doing as your wagon comes to a stop and you can just see this huge flood of inmates coming down cheering and the sentinels coming forth getting ready to basically crown you guys as champions?
Malachi's eyes would be pierced on Quinn. He would just be looking at her limp body laying there in the road, starting to possibly even put his hands down to begin the jettison from his bull wagon to the run back to Quinn. I would imagine before anything, that would be his first priority.
So as you step out of your wagon and look over, you can see her. She's probably a good 100 feet or so behind you as you just crossed over this finish line. You'll see Cantos, this scarred man that she was riding with, step out of this distillery tank, walk around the side of it, and come over to her body. He stands over her for a moment, just sort of looking down, and then kneels down. He puts his hands on her chest, and you can see that he's saying something or talking or trying to talk to her or something. But with the roar of all these people and things around you, you can't hear anything. And then it's just a wash of people. You sort of lose where where she is, but you can't see her from your point. Is everybody just sort of crowds into the middle of this raceway.
I just start screaming. No. Yeah. I just start screaming and pushing people out of the way. Like, get out of the way. Out of the way. Move. Move. Get out of the way. As the crowd is thickening, the intensity of my voice would be getting stronger and stronger. Continually trying to break my way to her.
Kavil suddenly appears very close behind Malachi, pushing other people to the sides very roughly, squinting almost to get a good view on Quinn. And he tries to grab Malachi on the shoulder, trying to pull him back, screaming in his ear, "Go get the pretty one, I'll take care of her." And he probably means the drow.
Yeah, I know. Malachi would understand, but his eyes would be glaring at you like, you can't ask me to leave her. I would shrug you
get
off.
Her.
I'd shrug you off and say, "You get the pretty one," and I'd continue to head towards Quinn.
And my hands
with the
start
determination in my eyes that you would know that it's not going to turn.
And my hands start to glow with a very reddish, sickly light. And he just shouts after him, "I'll take care of this!" And it looks actually very menacing. Suddenly hands starting to glow. He's still running after him, pushing the people out of the way.
Yeah, Malachi would stop, look to Kavil, realize that he'd have to start trusting something or somehow. And on his run past towards Mithra, would yell at him, "If you fail, I'll kill you." And I just continue to run towards Mithra.
And Kavil into the other direction, to Quinn.
Over on the other side, in this massive spiked-wheeled machine, the center of what looks to be this massive iron ball, the camera will zoom in, and you'll see a very wide-smiled, one-toothed half-orc tattooed as he smiles. You almost see a glimmer of love in his eyes as he looks at you, Mithra. He says, "You're thinking of something." And Mithra, why don't you give us your flashback?
Give me 1 second, guys. Alright. One of my earliest memories is of my sister. I was about to fall out of a very high tree. I was always trying to follow her, but I never really possessed her athletic abilities, so this usually ended up with her rescuing me. As time went on, this didn't change much, except instead of rescuing me from trees, she'd clean up after me when I got a little too excited about my studies, or patching me up before our mother could notice. Unfortunately, most of my life was clouded by my fierce, overbearing, ruthlessly violent mother. In my family, as with a lot of people of my race, mothers don't have daughters, so they will grow up to be friends. Mothers teach their daughters to be vicious, always competing to be the best, because the best takes over the family and keeps the family going, and if you aren't the best, well, you're not really working hard enough. My sister was always good at pretending. She could even seem to fool our mother that she was just as tough as her. She was clearly going to be the head of our family someday. My intelligence and scholarly skills did not measure up. I was there to help my sister to the top, so that's what I did. If I wasn't studying, I spent my childhood sparring with my sister. She always won, but I could see it was breaking her to hurt me. After my mother went to sleep, we would practice healing spells together, and she would always heal me and make sure I was okay. My mother called us weak when she finally caught us at it. One day after our most brutal fight yet, my sister had had enough. I was almost unconscious on the ground. I felt like I could hear her from far away, like I had been submerged underwater. There was a lot of blood on the ground, and I remember wondering if it was all mine. "Stop," my sister screamed. Her yellow eyes were glowing red with rage. "Just stop. I won't obey you anymore if she dies." I remember hearing my mother laugh. It was cold and devoid of humor. I lost consciousness, looking into my sister's eyes, which were slowly changing back to yellow. When I woke up, my sister was gone. All she left me was a note and a magical family heirloom I wasn't quite sure what to do with yet. I read the note over and over until I finally decided what I was going to do. I felt like I was moving in slow motion. It was still dark out, which wouldn't camouflage me here, but that didn't matter. I didn't care if my mother could sense me coming or not. My mind was made up. When it was done, I looked down at my mother's lifeless body. There was blood everywhere, blood on my clothes, but I didn't feel anything. I folded up the note my sister left me and magically sealed it so only I could open it again. I grabbed what few belongings and spellbooks I cared about most, and I never looked back. I never went home again. Wherever I go, no matter what I do, I'll never stop looking for my sister. Only she will understand why I did what I did and why I can't come home. I still lie awake at night thinking about it, but I have no remorse for killing that spiteful woman who tore us apart.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Killed your own mother. I tell you. I hear that causes repressed memories to come back.
Oh, it definitely does.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Cool. Yay.
So as you stare at Corridor, he stares back at you. Your charm is, I think there's a duration of like an hour, so you know you probably have quite a while that he's not going to pick up on anything. Good sense when he does realize and this charm wears off, it's probably not going to be a best situation to be there with him. But for the time being, he has almost this love-struck look in his eyes. He'll reach over, pushing up a couple of levers, and you'll see this big iron ball crack open. He'll lift up and just sort of shove it out of the way and stand up as he puts his arms up and lets out this roar.
All right. I'm gonna look over. Obviously, I'm looking over at Quinn now. How far away is she from me? I can clearly, I guess, see Kavil probably at this point. I can sort of see that I can see that Malachi is making a beeline for Quinn because I can see people moving out of his way, and then I sort of see Malachi coming towards me.
Mm-hmm.
How far away would they be from me?
Malachi wouldn't be far, maybe 20, 30 feet as he stops and turns. Kavil is running away, so he'd be probably a good 50 or 60 feet away. Quinn is a good 100 or more feet behind you, back still on the main road area.
I'm going to look at Cordal and hope that this charm will take me far and ask him, hey, can you do something for me? I got us through this race. I just need one more favor.
For you. Just this once.
Thank you. I need you to just stay here and keep everyone out of my way. And I need you to I need to get to Quinn. Don't worry about why. I just need you. Can you please just keep anyone from getting in my way? And I'm going to just hope that he's going to do his job and make a beeline for Malachi.
You mean that wench in the road?
Don't worry about it.
I was almost tempted to run her over. But young man, ladder she would have left. Very well, very well. You hurry up, go get your friend, and perhaps later we can carve her up together.
I'm going to laugh and just say thank you. And I'm going to start running towards Malachi.
This seems to work quite well, as he likes the attention, so he will make quite a scene of, winning, well, being within the top three. I think you guys came in third, but of making the scene of winning the race and getting all of the compliments that he can get. So yeah, he'll kind of keep people off of you as he takes most of the attention. Kavil, why don't you give me I'm going to say an athletics check to try and push your way through all of these people on your way to Quinn.
11 on the die plus 7. 18.
Damn. So yeah, shoving people left and right as you make your way through. You'll get about halfway, and then you'll see this large, fat, overbearing fellow. You recognize the warden as he stands there. Like, Kavil! You won an excellent race, excellent race. Come with me so we can mount you upon the pedestals of the winners.
Hands still glowing. He just passes by shouting, absolutely!
Turned to a conjunction. The podium is this way. Come.
Yeah. Probably not hearing the yeah anymore because it's so loud in the pit.
He'll watch where you're moving and say, Gavil, I said come with me. Give me a will challenge or a wisdom save.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wisdom
Really?
saving throw. There we go. That's what I want to say.
Oh, 4. Well. What was it? Wisdom? Or
Wisdom.
What?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Saving
12.
As he says this, you feel yourself stop. And you can see where you're headed. You can see Quinn on the ground. This man she was riding with, I think his name is Cantos or Cantel or something like that. He's kneeling down above her. And there's something odd. You can feel this darkness or this evil presence about him as he's over top of her. But your feet don't work.
Okay, I spend my inspiration. Really? I rolled another 4.
Yes, your feet don't quite want to move in that direction. You
Oh.
will it forward a slight bit, and maybe take a step another, and then they turn. You see Warden Bottrell in front of you, this wide smile on his fat face, and you start walking towards him, seeming able to really ignore his command.
Oh, fuck.
You say, that's more like it, Kavil. I knew you would listen. I knew you wouldn't be that dumb. Come atop the podium, and he will put his arm around you and lead you towards this podium. You can see Corridal has already stepped up into the third place and is holding this bronze little medal in his hands, holding it up. All of his groupies around him cheering. Malachi, he will run forward. You can see Quinn as she steps out of this thing. She's talking with Corridal for a moment, and he seems to take most of the initiative of cheering and getting the people out of her way as she comes forward. Over to the side, amongst this huge group of people, you quickly lose sight of Kavil, but you can give me a perception check, Malachi.
Oh shit. That's not a good start. Let me just check my sheet. That's 7.
Yes, look around. Between the screaming and the yelling and the flood of people, you quickly lose sight of Kavil. You just hope that perhaps he's headed in the right direction.
Do I see Mithra's partner up on the stage?
Yeah, you would see Corridal climbing up and getting the medal, yes.
So I'd probably start to realize that Mithra is in no real danger. Kind of stop. Malachi would be like, what the fuck? And I'd start heading back towards Ken.
And you'll see Mithra, she steps out. Were you trying to meet with Malachi, or were you headed towards Quinn, Mithra?
Well, ultimately, I mean, I'm trying to head towards Quinn, but as I saw Malachi heading my way, he was the first one I was going to meet up with. I feel like I want to follow the bigger guys, so that's kind of my goal here. I'm trying to get as close to the rest of the, like, whoever's the closest, I can follow behind them as best I can while they're pushing their way through.
In that case, Malachi, give me an athletics check as you start to turn, and you can see Mithra's coming in your direction to sort of follow you.
That's a 17, if you guys can still hear me.
Yep. So you'll start pushing your way forward, you can see Mithra just a few steps behind you. There's this sea of people just seems to start surrounding you. You remember where you saw Quinn as you start to make your way there. It's slow going, painful, it's almost a frustrating sort of thing. You'll hear another cheer go off to the side, and as you look over, you'll see Kavil up on the number 1 podium stand, posting his medal high for everybody to see.
If I see that, I'll fucking get so angry and I'll just start throwing people out of the way as I head towards Quinn. Just fucking fury now. Enraged, and Malachi, his eyes going completely black, the anger just almost swelling in an aura of gray around him as he heads towards.
Beside Kavil, Corridor holds his bronze medal up, and these 2 nasty-looking hags, they're hag boy fanboys all crowding around them with a strange chanting sort of thing. Seems to be some story about cooking children in the oven or something that they seem to be chanting, but they're all holding their silver medal high. You'll see Kavil even smile a little bit. Over on your side, Kavil, this fat, arrogant warden stands behind you. He says, "Smile for the crowd, Kavil. Smile and hold that medal high."
Can I speak?
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
But only speak if you don't lie.
oh. Okay.
So it's best to watch your tongue.
Out of character, I can't lie.
That's just what he tells you.
Okay, I blurt out, like out of the corner of my mouth. No, actually, no. Hang on. Have I seen him doing anything unsuitable for a warden in the time I've been here?
Unsuitable as in...
Yeah, maybe well, something evil, something nasty that he tried to hide.
Yeah, you probably haven't really seen him out and about too much. When you do, he's, just mostly eating food and slobbering.
Okay.
About.
So in that case, I will just blurt out, "I will F your wife when I get out of here." And I just try to yeah, kind of get a little bit shaky, so he might release me from his spell by accident.
You can give me I'm going to say intimidation.
Okay. That's plus 16.
Looks at you, his eyes narrow a little bit, and he leans in. "You're never getting out of here, Kavil. So I have no worries." He'll give you the slap on the back, and everybody around you will start cheering and basically chanting what you chanted, apparently thinking it's some sort of winning slang term or something, but the crowd loves you.
Shit.
Off to the side, Quinn, this whole experience seems somewhat strange. When you open your eyes, you can see darkness pretty much surrounds you. You can feel this wetness on your back, but your back burns infernally. It's like searing hot. You can hear a creak, sometimes a crunch of something as whatever you're on shifts. You feel 2 heavy arms grab a hold of yours, and then you feel the thud as you hit the ground. To the side, Malachi, as you rush forward, you finally break through this crowd of people. Mithra right behind you. It starts to thin out a little bit here on this side of the track. Nobody really cares about the losers out here. You'll see a whole cadre of goblins still clamoring about their little clown car, the long thruster. Some of them still asleep, some rubbing at their eyes, some still hacking up in the corner. All giving Mithra glances of annoyance, of course. And you will see Cantos lying on the ground, face down. He's still breathing, seems to be just unconscious. But you do not see Quinn.
I don't see Quinn anywhere.
Mm-mm. You can see in the distance there's a wagon filled with dead bodies that they keep shoving up on top and pulling away.
Yeah, I'd run over
that
to Cantos, flip him over, grab the collar of his shirt and smack him in the face a few times to try to wake him. Wake up, asshole! Wake up!
He'll shake his head, takes a couple smacks or two, and then his eyes will snap open as he looks at you. You can see that scar on his face looks almost like a burn mark at the moment. It's still red and sore. And in the corner of each eye is this blood streak. And he looks at you, sort of this feared, crazed look in his eyes, glances all around, kind of taps his body.
Where is she?
He'll look around again and look at you. Who are you talking about?
Smack him. And again, you know who I'm talking about. Where is she?
He'll start to push himself to feet, trying to push you off a little bit, and look around. He's like, do I look like I would know where she is? Says, I was lying on the ground unconscious as well. The last I remember was in the wagon. She tried to castrate me.
I would attack. I'd start swinging.
Go for it.
Alright, yeah, here we go. Ooh, that is an 18 plus... fuck. I guess it's just my hand, so... 18 plus 1?
Yeah, just plus your strength bonus, and then damage is 1d4.
Oh, okay, so no, that would actually be a 17. So is it still a hit?
Yep. And
then that's a 2. 2 for damage, and I'm just swinging wildly at his face. Anger is just basically pouring from my pores now. You definitely see Malachi is quite upset.
Yeah, you'll hit him hard, give him a hard slug across the jaw, and he'll stumble back if you back up against the distillery tank. As he stumbles forward, he tries to put his hands up to defend himself a little bit. You can see he's getting rather annoyed. He's yelling something that he doesn't know what you're talking about. He doesn't know where she went. He has nothing to do with this. Mithra, what do you do?
Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm gonna keep sticking behind Malachi. He's having altercation with this guy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab Malachi and say, come on, don't worry about him. Let's just find Quinn.
It would take quite a bit to pull me off. I wouldn't swing or anything at Mithra. I would realize who she is, but it would take a while to wrestle with me to basically pull me off of him. I would be just so infuriated.
Can I yelled for Kavil. Would he be able to hear me?
Kavil is definitely looking with a smile into the crowd.
Well, Kavil, I need some help over here.
You could certainly try. I'd say a performance check to try and get his attention or yell enough to.
Is Malachi fighting with these guys, or is he just are they about to fight with him?
He's just beating the crap out of poor Cantos, but that's it. You don't see, when you look around, you don't see anybody else getting in on this altercation, though it's definitely caught the attention of a few sentinels, but they haven't intervened yet.
Oh, I don't think I have any spell slots left either. God, sorry guys. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna. I'm gonna run over and try and pull Malachi off. Not so much I feel like I can actually pull him off, but I want to at least try and get his attention and get him to pay attention to me. I don't actually feel like I have the physical strength to stop him, but...
And you can see Kantos at the moment isn't really trying to fight back. He's annoyed, and you can definitely see the anger starting to rise in him, but he's more trying to just defend himself from Malachi's onslaught at the moment.
Come on, Malachi. Let's not waste our time with this. And I'm gonna like grab him by the shoulders.
He knows where she is. He did something.
It's okay. We'll get him after. We're not saying we're gonna let him go, but right now we have to get the fuck out of here. Get Quinn the fuck out of here.
I guess at that I'd start looking around and searching for again. My head would just cock from one side to the other, scanning the crowd, scanning what's left.
I'm sticking with you. We're not leaving without her.
The crowd around
you just hear me utter under my breath, "Where the fuck is Camille?"
You see the crowd around you start to quiet a little bit as Warden Betrell takes a step up in front of this winner's podium, hold his hands out, sort of quiet down the crowd a little bit, looks around, he stops, and you kind of get that sense that he's looking in your direction, glance over your shoulder. His voice is much louder than everybody else's as it booms out. He says, "Mithra, Malachi, your winners are up here. Come with me. Get up on this podium." Both of you give me wisdom saves, please.
Oh, I start walking straight towards the podium. I'll give you a wisdom save, but I'm doing it. If I see Camille up there, I'm fucking coming.
Oh, shit.
That's a nat 20.
Ooh.
So yeah, you'd bypass it, but you're headed that way anyway.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find what to do. 16.
So as you start heading towards this podium, Malachi, you can look over your shoulder. You'll see Mithra's following you, but it looks sort of unintentional or unnatural, because yes, Mithra, you are commanded by him to come up onto this podium next to Coradal and be crowned with your bronze medal. Even if you can act and you can say things, but your feet and your body pretty much follow his command as you make your way.
At the time that I'm being...
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The crowd will part a little bit as you make your way through. As you step up next to Coradal, he'll grab this medal that he has and sort of shove it into your hands and put it on, we're winners. I must say, you have a bit of a unconventional way of winning, but we won. Wear it proudly, Mithra.
All right, I guess I'm gonna put the token on or the medal on, because I feel like I know when. I'm pissed now that I know that I'm being controlled, but all right, so I'm just gonna put the medal on and keep an eye on Malachi. And I'm also looking around for Kavil. Kavil's up here, right?
Yeah, I'm probably on the higher pedestal there.
Kavil,
And
I'm gonna start yelling at you. Kavil.
yeah, and I started yelling back, like really strained. You see, the sweat is just running down my face. His muscles are twitching, actually, as if he's trying to fight against this command spell. He looks really, really strained. Mithra, if you have an idea, it's now is a great time for ideas.
Yeah, I'll have Malachi will grab the medal and he'll just hold it in his hands as his eyes are fucking piercing at Kavil. Like, just give me a second alone with this son of a bitch. Like, where's my sister? Fuck.
Do I see that he's looking?
Probably, yeah. Maybe from the corner of your eye as
Yeah.
you over.
I try to turn my head into his direction. Listen, I can't move.
I can't move either. Can I cast spells when I'm like this?
Unfortunately, no. Unless they're verbal. But if they're somatic or whatever, then no.
If they were to both say that, I'd be like, wait. What's going on here?
We're stuck.
In front of you, the warden will step up and he goes through this long speech of entertaining the inmates and giving them a fair and quality time behind the bars, and goes through and make sure you all have your prizes. The whole thing takes 5 or 6 minutes, and he basically just puffs his own air a little bit, but he definitely gives you all a little bit of recognition. And then you'll see the sentinels start to swarm around this group of inmates, taking them away and pulling them in different directions as they disperse this whole thing a little bit. You'll see all of your mechanics come out and get the wagons, taking them back to their gates. As you look around, all 3 of you, you see no sign of Quinn anywhere. With that, we'll hop over to you, Quinn. You remember this dreamlike state. Everything was sort of weird around you. Cantos talking to you, telling you something. You could feel the wetness on your back and the creaking of this cart, the hands that grabbed you. In the next few moments just kind of go by in and out of consciousness. You remember passing by your cell doors, through the leisure basin, into the stairwell that led down quite a ways, almost as if you're heading back down into that sewer area again. Next thing you remember is an elevator, the hotness, the heat, the humidity just rising more and more, sweat beating on your foreheads. There's the sound of steel, sort of grating on steel. And then you can feel yourself shoved forward, smack it into a wall, and just sliding down. All the while, as your back touches this cold wall behind you, it feels good almost. It feels cool, but your back still burns, absurdly so. You can hear a slam, and you fall unconscious. Not really sure how long it's been when you open up. It's just pitch black around you. You can feel something cold, like a cold stone wall or something behind you. To your right, as you put your hand out, is another wall. To your left is another. And your feet are tucked up close to your body, and you try to spread them out. They just hit another wall. You can reach above you. You think maybe 3 or 4 feet above you is a ceiling, as you're stuck in some sort of small 5x5 container. The heat is almost unbearable in here. Your clothes are absolutely soaked with sweat. It just pours down your face. Your back stings as every little trickle rolls down.
And I'm in complete darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I will, as we kind of, I guess we don't really see her, but just covered in mud, scratches, and blood being flung out from the car, kind of her last conscious memory, the rest blurring together in swells of consciousness and unconsciousness. There's moments where she's panicking and slamming and trying to find her way out. And then after a few moments collapsing down into like a sitting position, she puts her hand on her head, trying to focus. Her crumpled hat now covered in mud laying in front of her feet, and she takes a deep breath and will cast minor illusion. Can I use that to make like a light bloom up? I don't know if that's actually...
Yes, you can. I believe it's
you can
only like
light.
a 10-foot orb, but yep.
Yeah, I will illuminate the small chamber I'm in and see if there's any discernible features.
As it pops up, you can see that it looks basically solitary confinement. You're wrapped in this small iron or steel, some sort of cool metal, all the way around you. In front of you is a doorway. You can see the seam of the door as it would lead out, but there's no handles, no anything on the side, just a tight seam all the way around it. And at the very base of it is a small flap, just large enough for like a plate or something to slide through. You can hear... Actually, give me a perception check.
8.
So every now and then you can hear this. And it just keeps going and going and going. It's not against your walls or anything, but it seems to be echoing from somewhere around you.
I would go up to the door and start pounding on it.
Can do this for a few minutes, and really nothing happens. As you sort of give it your last thump, your hand's starting to hurt, your knuckles bleeding a little bit, kind of slump back. You can hear a very soft voice. Says, I hate this damn solitary confinement. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? Next time I find that bastard, I'm going to crack his neck, and then my friend, she's going to kick him in the balls. Puts me down here every damn day. I tell you.
Listening to the voice, obviously familiar to me, I would back against the wall. My back is still searing with pain.
Mm-hmm.
I would gather myself and put my hand kind of down the back of my shirt and see if I feel anything. And then with an exhale, I'd say, Coyote, is that you?
Yeah. Touch your back, it stings, but as you pull your hand back forward, you can see it's covered in blood, and it felt like scratches or something all over your back from what you could feel. But your hand is definitely bloody when it comes back around. Still fresh blood. Your shirt itself is soaked with it. It'll be silence for a few. You'll hear a different voice, not Coyote's, but you recognize Cantos. And you hear this heavy slam on it'd be your right-hand side of the wall. It says, Quinn, is that you?
Yeah.
Says, what the hell happened out there?
Fuck you. Like, what are you talking about? What the hell happened? You lost the race. You threw me out of the fucking car. Are you insane?
Says, bullshit. You tried to cut off my dick.
Kind of like scoff. Like, if I was trying, I would have done it. I was making a point. No reason to throw our fucking lives down the gutter. Like, what were you thinking?
You'll hear that other voice. Queen, is that you? Is that you? It's me, Coyote.
One at a time.
So sorry. I was thinking about myself. And you know what I'm gonna do, Quinn? You know what I'm
Shut
gonna
up for
do?
a second. Shut up.
When you're ready, let me know. I'll tell you a story.
I'd go back to Cantos like, what were you thinking? You know the rules that we can't lose. We're fucked now.
Oh, yeah, Cantos, what were you thinking? You tried to cut off my dick. What was I supposed to do? I slammed on the gas and I tried to win the race. Then, next thing I wake up and your brother's beating the shit out of me. I don't know what the hell happened around here. So perhaps you have some explaining to do. Why is it everything else is a blur, blacked out?
Maybe.
What did you do to me? I believe you lost the race.
I don't know what part of being thrown out the goddamn car onto my face unconscious is confusing for you, but yeah, I blacked out.
Oh, Queen, you blacked out and Cantos blacked out. Perhaps you blacked out together. That is, I have a theory, you fellas. I have a theory. It was that damn guard down there next to the porticles. When I walk by him, he's always making the mind tricks with me. You know what I'm going to do to him, don't you? You know what I'm going to do?
Coyote, shut the hell up.
No, sorry. I'm just trying to help you. I'm used to it down here.
If you're trying to help me, then give me a way out of here. Otherwise, do not speak.
There's no way out of solitary. Me, I just scribble between the rocks and, I count these stones. That is what I do. You'll notice the cell you are in, though, Quinn, there is no stone wall or rocks or anything. It's solid steel or iron or metal around you.
How'd you get down here, Coyote?
Oh, you're talking to me? Well, you see, I was going down and I was going to feed my snake, you know. You remember when I showed you my big snake? You remember that, Quinn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was going down and I was going to feed my snake. And, well, that guard, he followed me down and then he cracked me on the head and said something about not listening. And then he threw me in here because he likes to do that for some reason. Now, all the time I'm down here, there's 1,432 stones in here, you know, but I count them every day.
I will mutter to myself that the fucking guards of this prison need to look up the word solitary and really work on this bullshit. And then I'll lean back and say, Cantos, you said my brother was beating the shit out of you. What do you mean? What happened? After you threw me out of the car, nothing else is... It's all blank.
So there ain't no much different from me. When you tried to cut off my dick, it all went blank as well. You know, woke up and your brother was there yelling something about where you were, as if I should know where the hell you went. Last I knew, you were, well, you know, tried to cut off my dick. But
listen, I don't
then
know
they threw me down here.
And cutting off your dick. I don't know how something so small could be such a big deal to you, but can we fucking move on past that?
You hear the high-pitched laughter of Coyote. Oh, snap! That was a good one, Quint. That was a good one.
And then when he says that my brother was like beating him, I'll just kind of like sit down again, realizing that I'm fucked anyways, and just think like, I hope Malachi isn't causing a scene right now.
And back in the middle of the race, Malachi, Mithra, and Kavil. This crowd disperses around you a bit, and you'll see Warden Bartel turn, and smile at all of you. And he'll walk over, give these hags this soft kiss on their hands, gives them what looks to be the small bloody sack. Each one of them gets one as he leaves them off, and you see a couple sentinels come over and start leading them away. You'll turn to Mithra and Corridor. Says, you get dinner tonight. The hags, they like other things to eat, so they'll be content. But for you, and for you, Kavil and Malachi, I have a big dinner planned. Full of hamburgers and other tasty things. You come for dinner. In fact, you will get the guest rooms. Yes, that will be excellent. Yes, you will get the guest rooms, comfortable cots and tables, and it even comes with entertainment. The sentinels will lead you there. I will come down and call upon you when dinner is ready. You have an excellent evening, and for you, excellent evening. And he'll shake all of your hands. Where are the what?
Where are the losers?
So I don't need to worry about them. You know, the winners, they are the ones who matter. The losers, they're just history. No sense in
worrying. We're the winners. One of the losers is our friend. I am worried about her.
Yeah.
If you were concerned about us, I mean, maybe you could help us out.
I don't make deals, Mithra. You are all here because you're scum. I simply use you for entertainment. What friends you have isn't worth a scratch on my nuts. Don't you worry. You'll have dinner, and maybe if your friend is good, she will come back. She put in quite a fight. She was quite entertaining, but, well, she lost. Sorry. With that, he'll start waddling away. The sentinels will come forward, and you guys all feel your hands get ripped back as these cuffs are put around them, chains down to your ankles, and they'll start leading you, shuffling you forward. All the while, Corridor will just be smiling this one-toothed wide smile at you, Quinn. Or, I'm sorry, Mithra. Do you guys do anything else as these sentinels lead you away?
Yeah, I lean into Mithra and I'll whisper, "Stop being so naive."
Hey, I thought it was worth a shot. I want to look over at Corridor while he's still in a good mood and ask him, what happens to the losers?
The losers, usually they're put down in solitary They let them cook for a bit down there. It's quite warm, quite warm. They sweat off. It's like a brine. The sweat, the saltiness, it tenderizes the skin. Well, you work in the kitchen, don't you? I'm sure you've seen what comes through there.
All right. So I'm going to turn to Kavil now and say, we need to get Quinn before she's sent up to the kitchen.
You think about getting into solitary? We can probably make that happen.
We have to make that happen.
Okay.
Well then, I'll look back. Is there a sentinel behind me?
There are 12 sentinels around you at the moment.
What do you think? I mean, should I just pull the crazy act?
Well, I just turn around just as you were saying that, and I just headbutt the sentinel behind me. Or try to.
Give me an attack, but with advantage.
Ooh. Okay. That's a 16 and a 2, so I take the 16.
16. Yep. Yeah, you'll crack him hard right in the face, and you can see his nose just explodes in a spray of blood as he stumbles back. Reaching up, he's like, "What the hell?" As he tries to smear this blood from his face. These other guards all around sort of grabbing a hold of you and start pushing you forward. And the warden just up ahead a little ways will turn and look over his shoulder. You see this big smile on his face. He says, "Wait for the entertainment when you get to your room. Then you can play with each other and do whatever you do."
I try to get the next one and headbutt the next one.
You will have to enter initiative then.
Yeah, I'll start throwing some fucking headbutts around because I have them all locked up. I'll be like, hey, I'll catch on eventually.
All right. I don't have a lot of physical prowess, but I'm going to... I don't have that collar on as of right now, do I?
You do not.
Oh.
Cool. Give me 2 seconds to look at my cantrips here. I'm just gonna cast... is there a sentinel I can touch? Like, with close enough to me I can just touch it?
Technically, we haven't leveled up yet, right?
Yeah, you can level up. That's fine. But yeah, there's one right beside you, Mithra. There'd be, 2 on each of you, so 6 there, and then 6 basically following behind.
Okay, I'm gonna reach out to the one closest to me I can touch and cast Shock and Grasp through my fingertips, and there's gonna be a bunch of blue electricity coming out of my fingertips.
All right. They do not have metal armor, so you won't get the bonus for that, but you can make a normal attack.
Alright, do I just roll for that, a d20 for that one?
Yep, d20 plus whatever your spell attack modifier is.
Alright, well I rolled a 19, so I feel like I'm
That's
good.
definitely a hit. Yeah.
Nice.
And whatever the damage is, 1d8, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I thought I had that. Hold on 1 second. Alright. Oh, that's a solid 8.
Beautiful.
Having a good night.
See this electricity course over his body and throw him back a few feet as he lets go. And Malachi, you can have an action before the first actual initiative starts, since you guys kind of surprised them.
Yeah, I'll just...
Sorry, should we all roll for initiative now?
Nope, I got the cards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll just bounce a few times over and bump into the closest guard. Just, your mother was a whore.
Go for it.
$17 plus 3, so that's 20.
Yep, that's a hit.
That's just a 1d4. That's another 2.
Gotcha. And with that, we'll enter initiative. You'll see the 6 guards behind all pull out these heavy, sort of billy club baton type things. The ones around you will as well. up first is the Sentinels. Lucky for you guys. So 12, that would be 4 basically. So let's see. Kavil, you'll see the 2 that are on either side of you grab a hold of you. Give me an athletics check.
Oh, natural 20.
Ooh, well.
That
Describe
means
what
that I
you-
get an inspiration, right?
Yes, describe what you
Yes.
do, and you can give everyone. Yeah, you can give yourself one in this case. Normally, you'd have to give to somebody who hasn't or doesn't have any, but the other 2 have it at the moment. So
Okay. So I just headbutted the first one. I turn around while the warden says, "Just wait for the dinner party," right? And I just smile, a toothy, bloody smile, and just swing over to the next one, just doing the same thing, and you hear that sickly smack, skull onto skull.
the warden up ahead stops, and just sort of watching all of this, a smile on his face. So they do not have initiative, so they cannot pin you down, but you're going to have at least 3 attacks on you. We got a 20, we got a 14, and a 19.
Oh, God.
I'm not sure what your AC is. Lowest is a 14.
Oh, yeah, that all hits, yeah.
Okay. In that case, 6, 9, 11 damage that you're going to take. Just make a note, it is not lethal because they're hitting you with their billy clubs.
Okay.
So it's going to be subdual damage.
So in that case, I'm on minus 8.
Yeah, just put yourself at 0.
Okay.
You'll see the 2 on Kavil quickly crack him crack the skull, and his body drops. He's still alive and breathing. He just looks like they hit him sort of on the side of the temple, knocking him out. Then they turn, all of them looking at Malachi next. I got a 15, 11. That definitely doesn't hit. It's a 1, 14, 15. So how about a 16 and a 17? Does both of those hit on Malachi?
Yeah, they would, but can I use Hellish Rebuke?
Yeah. You still take the damage with Hellish Rebuke. You just deal more damage back, basically.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I'd have enough AC left, so if you want to do the damage first, then that's fine.
12.
Yeah, that knocks me out.
Again, it's just subdual, so
Oh, no, it doesn't actually. I still have 6 left, sorry.
So, yeah.
I forgot with the leveling up, I got more HP, so.
In that case, do your Hellish Rebuke.
Alright, so it's a reaction. Creature just dances. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to see a black, almost like a black lightning shock start to absorb the air around Malachi, and then it'll just, as the damage comes in, you'll see this flash, and as the lightning circle gets bigger and bigger, it just basically explodes. So wisdom save for 12, I think, on your part.
They succeed. Well, the one does with a 17. Do they take half damage?
Yeah, you take a 2d10 fire damage, half of it, which is this dice right here. This is 5, 7. So that's 12 damage.
So 6. Gotcha.
It only affects one creature, so.
All right. See this black flames engulf you. Right, he'll jump back. His skin scorched a little bit on Mithra. You'll turn and see this one you jolted get thrown back a few feet as he's trying to pick himself up off the ground. The other 3 will come in. I rolled a 19, a 20, and an 18. Oh, not a natural 20 though, so I know those 3 hits. 6, 4 is 10 points of damage as they all just come in and start beating the crap out of you, Mithra. Billy clubs in hand.
Can I cast shield on myself, or is it too late?
Yeah, you can cast shield to eliminate one of those. Well, what's your AC to make sure it covers?
I think it's +5, whatever. So it would be 17.
All right, yeah, you can eliminate one of those then. So I'll eliminate the biggest one was 5, so it would be 7 damage you take instead.
Okay. But like you said, this isn't going to kill us.
No, it's just subdual damage, so it's basically non-lethal. They're just trying to knock you out.
Okay. Okay, cool. If they do knock us out, does that count as a rest?
Technically, it will, yes. Mithra, you are up.
All right.
Well, it's a short rest anyway.
Sorry, I'm just... sorry, I took 8 damage?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and I'm going to... I mean, I don't really... I'm gonna cast Firebolt at a different Sential. Like, I'm not really trying to... I mean, I guess the point is we're trying to go to Solitary. I don't... Pretty sure I'm gonna get knocked out, but that's okay. I'll just shoot another Firebolt at another Sential. I think I have a pretty far range with that one.
Oh, yeah, it's like 120 feet or something like that.
So, yeah, I don't know. You said there was like 12, one of the ones farther away.
Okay.
Just to cause a scene and piss them off. All right. Oh, I don't know. That's a spell modifier.
Probably +5.
That's what I thought too.
Should be on your second page at the very top.
Oh, that's what I can never find. It's the second page.
At the bottom, there are those tabs where you can access the other pages.
Okay, I'm definitely... No, I'm on the right page. I don't see it. I guess... Did I not write it down? That wasn't smart. I thought it was 5, though, because I think I've definitely had to use a modifier before. I thought I was going...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 5. I can tell you. It's going to be... Oops.
I'll write that down.
Let's see. On the back. Spell sheet. Oh, yeah, it's on your spell sheet at the very top. It's +6.
Oh, cool. All right, so 7 + 6. That was my roll.
13. So not quite as this blast of flame explodes at the feet of one of them. You can see him hop back a few feet and look up at you. Malachi, you were just unconscious. I'm sorry, Quinlan, or Heavy was unconscious. So Malachi, you are up. You can see the warden in the distance laugh. Says, you know, this is just gonna go badly.
I just want my sister back, and I will. I'll lift my right hand, and I'll point my fingers, and from it will erupt an Eldritch Blast. But now for some reason, when my Eldritch Blast hits, if it hits, I guess I have to do that first. Target attack. Yeah, I will attack with an Eldritch Blast. You'll see a star, a 5-pointed star shape start to erupt from my hand. And here's my d20. It's an 18, natural 18, plus 4, so that's 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Alright, so as the 5-pointed star starts to build in my hand and it starts to erupt and drive in a small beam towards the mayor, or the warden, sorry, it'll actually bounce off of his chest, and as it hits his chest, it'll knock him back 10 feet in the direction away from me as I've upgraded my Eldritch Blast to a repelling blast.
Ooh, nice.
And I'll be doing 1d10 force damage. That's 3 damage.
Got it. Yeah, you'll see him throwing back. This smile on his face never really seems to leave as he rolls over and starts to pick this huge form up off the ground, staring at all of you. And you don't need to make a death save or anything, Kavil, because you're not actually dying. You're just unconscious. Once again, these sentinels will just swarm around, swinging their batons, trying to knock all of you out. And sentinels are up first again. 12, 11, so 2. It's going to be 6 on each of you. Malachi, I got a net 20, so it's going to end up doing 12 damage.
That'll take me out right there.
I figured it would be.
The 16 would have taken me out.
Let's see, and for Mithra, that's 14, 16. I got 16 and 18. I know those two hit you. That would put 8 more points of damage on you, Mithra, as they try to knock you out. Are you still up?
Give me one sec. I got so excited because I didn't realize on the spell sheet all I have to do is type in the spell and all the info is there.
Yep.
Love it. Nope, I'm at 7, so I'm unconscious.
Yes, you guys will see them as they just come in swinging their clubs. Most of them looking quite pissed. You can hear the warden's laughter in the distance as he just laughs, his voice echoing away. On the other side, Quinn, you'll be sitting in this darkness. The heat seems to be getting ever worse, longer and longer. Give me a perception check, Quinn.
All right.
Give yourself advantage, actually, because you've been in here quite a while with your little glowing orb.
Even at advantage, I rolled an 8.
You were so perceptive. Look around. You don't really hear anything besides Kantos's rhythmic tapping. It seems like he's basically tapping out like a song or something. Every now and then you can hear him humming to it. You can hear Coyote on the other side counting 1,223, 1,224, 1,220. Ah, shit. Start again. 1, 2.
Yeah, if I could, I would actually channel my minor illusion to start playing kind of this like music. It almost sounds like an old music box, a chiming kind of song or whatever. And as she drifts away in it, she's going to be kind of swept away to a time long ago in her past, a childhood, and just the claustrophobic cell kind of slips away. And she goes back to a time into this raucous tavern where there's drunkards yelling and cheering on the main level, and it's smoky and dirty, and the tables are full of men and women and scantily clad individuals of every race and gender that you can imagine, just hanging off of these dirty looking individuals. There's a staircase on the far end of the tavern that wraps up to the second level, and there's this long smoky hallway with doors all the way down it. Some of them are open, some of them are closed, but they all just are this cacophony of moans and groans and shouts of ecstasy and rocking bedboards, except the very last door, which you hear the faint sound of that same music box. And we kind of come to the room and see a younger version of Malachi and Quinn laying on their own bedrolls that are frayed and tattered on the hard, dirty floor. And there's a music box in between them with a wizard kind of spinning around in it, slowly illuminating these little globes, playing this song. And Quinn looks into Malachi's face laying on the ground, and the older brother, but still young, looks at her and promises her one day that we'll get out of here. Just focus on the music, Quinn. Everything will be okay, and we'll wake up and the next day will be better, I'll promise. And that's kind of, Quinn opens her eyes and she's still in the cell.
You don't really know how long has passed. It could have been hours, maybe only minutes. As you sit in this, every now and then you'll hear what sounds like the shuffling of feet outside on the other side of the doorway. Sometimes with the jingling of chains, other times just heavy footfalls. Is whatever or whoever is out there moves up and down the hallway. Coyote just goes on counting, and beside you, Kantos's rhythmic tapping. Eventually it goes quiet, and you'll hear a heavy thump on the other side from Kantos's side. Say, Quinn, you awake?
I'll just like grunt.
Says, you got one of those spells that can break stone or something. Perhaps you can bust out of here.
Oh shit, you're right. I never thought of that. Fuck, I've been wasting all this time. No, obviously I don't have a spell like that.
What the hell? What good are you then? All you can do is play music and make little icicles.
Yep, it would appear so. I don't see you coming up with any grand ideas.
I simply know how to beat the shit out of people. So, what are you in for? Who did you murder?
This is Cantos to me.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't murder anybody.
Well, what did you do so bad to get put in a place like this? It must have been something awful.
Well, let's just say that I got mixed up with the wrong individuals and things started to pile up until I couldn't run from them anymore.
Yeah, I've heard a few people like that. What about your brother? What's he here for? Was he the murderer?
Do I know what he got sent to jail for?
I don't know.
I don't think I did. I don't even think that's come up yet between us. I assume that he probably got himself thrown into jail. He's probably did it on purpose just to get here with me, to be honest. He's dumb like that. Always looking out for me and not really thinking of the repercussions.
That's understandable. I would have done the same for my sister. Rest her soul. Well, I don't like you very much, being, the whole icicle and dick thing, but at least let me apologize for throwing you out the window, even though I don't remember doing it. Have a good night there.
Yeah. Thanks, I guess. That's I guess that's what you would probably consider being nice. To start.
Better than what I did to the other people.
It's fair. Are you gonna honor your word? Even though obviously I'm not gonna chop your dick off anymore?
I just like to fool around. Do a little bit of hazing. I wouldn't hurt him. Well, not purposefully anyway.
Oh, that's good. Because if you did, I would fucking kill you.
I'd like to see that. It'd be a good joke. You can hear just silence on the other side. How long does your illusory spell last?
It's a cantrip, so it lasts for a minute, but I can just keep
doing it.
Popping it off. I wouldn't. Once he interrupts me, I'll kind of snap out of the music box, and there's not really much else I can do, so I'll just sit in the darkness and hope that sleep takes me.
Give yourself a short rest if you want it, and anything you get back. Sure. And Kavil, Mithra, and Malachi, all of you will have a short rest as well, so you can recover any spells that you might recover. I think the Warlock gets a bunch, and then you can roll whatever hit dice you have, 2 at the moment, to heal up a little bit.
Very good.
And all 3 of you, 4 actually, will awake one at a time on these soft, comfortable, very comfortable beds, actually. You don't remember beds like this since some of the more higher-end taverns or inns that you may have stayed at. Good feather-down pillows, thick hay-baled cots, quite firm on the back. Some of the best rest you probably had in a while. The whole room that you're in smells sort of cinnamony. And on the table over in the corner, you can see this small candle that's burning, giving off this incense smell. All 4 of you were there: Kavil, Mithra, Malachi, and Coradal. The large orc is sitting over at a corner. He has a piece of, looks like a piece of lead or a charcoal bit, chalk or something in his hand, quickly scribbling down on this piece of paper or something. His tongue is kind of sticking out of the corner of his mouth, and he'll look up as he's thinking something, then he quickly goes back to writing it down, looks around, sees all of you starting to wake up a little bit, doesn't really give you much of a second glance as he goes back and seems hard at work on whatever it is he's writing over in the corner. The room you're in is pretty sparse otherwise. There's a small table in the center with a couple of things of wash basins and some rags, so you clean yourself up, and you can see hanging his outfits for all of you. Nice silken sort of gowns for the girls, and this suit with a bow tie for Kavil and Malachi. What do you guys do?
I wake up like from a dream, like, oh. This is not solitary.
Look around, Kavil. You'll notice a simple little note that's been folded up on the table next to the wash basins. Looks like it's been opened already. Like the flap is open already, but the letter's still laying there.
I grab it.
Just a simple letter from Warden Vital. It says, I hope you had a good nap. I understand acting out is just your frustrations, but at dinner, I expect you to be best behaved. There's clothes in the corner. Wash up and get ready.
I close my eyes for 10 seconds and count to 10.
When you get to 8, you feel Malachi kind of grab you by the shirt cuff.
You sound super, super muffled, Malachi.
Yeah. Are you sitting on your mic?
No, my computer's lagging like hell.
Or is that better?
Oh, geez, yeah, that's much better.
All right, good. Yeah, so Malachi would just kind of tap Kavil on the shoulder a little bit while he's holding onto his shirt, and wait till he opens up his eyes. Just kind of smile at him and say, I guess it would have happened no matter what. Can't hold a grudge.
I guess so.
Help him up.
What the hell is wrong with that man? Apparently, speaking of the warden.
What did he do to you two?
He seems to possess some kind of magic. Whatever it was.
I'd go over and try to help Mithra up if she was starting to come to.
Over in the corner, Cordall sort of glance over his shoulder and looking at all of you getting up. Kind of turns his whole body away from you a little bit, though, and then goes back to doing whatever he's doing over there.
I look at him. Does it look ominous?
No, it looks like he is just like writing. He has paper and a small piece of chalk or whatever, just like writing a note or something.
I sneak up and peek over his shoulder.
Can you read Orcish? Or I guess I don't know what the actual thing is called, but.
Oh, do I have languages? No.
I would assume probably
Our
not.
skills, right?
Malachi will follow Kavil, and when Malachi gets around, oddly enough, his eyes will turn black. The whites of his eyes will get this weird black, and he'll be able to read it because he now has the ability. Come on, let me fucking actually read it. Eyes of the Runekeeper, which can read all text.
Beautiful. So you see that he's actually has what looks to be this love poem sort of thing that he has been writing, but he's quickly crossing out words, and it's coming to be more of this poem about what he plans to do to Mithra, including ripping her arms off and tearing out her eyes, and he's not very happy with her. But it all rhymes very well in Orc.
You kind of give it a weird look and look at Kavil and be like, you might have a problem with our friend.
Raising an eyebrow.
Seems like his love poem is a little bit violent.
Does he love me?
No, it's not either one of us. And I would look over to Mithra.
I look at Mithra and then back. My eyes narrow. Hey! Startling, hopefully, the writer of that poem.
I'll start getting dressed.
Yeah, Corodal will stop, just slowly turn his head over his shoulder to look at you, Kavil. What is it?
Got some grudges?
Many. You want to be one of them?
Well, I could be one of them if you don't stop.
I will add you to the list then. What is your name?
Feel free, Kavil, with 2 L.
You can see he writes it down, spelled horribly. You are on the list. I get to you soon, though. First, priorities.
I'll lean in a little bit over him and I'll say, if you touch the pretty one, I will touch you and it won't be pleasant.
Yes, whatever. He'll just shove past you, folding up this small paper, shoving it into his little leather vest thingy, and go over to start getting dressed, all the while just glaring at you, Mithra.
What did you do to him? I look over to Mithra.
I'm just... If I whisper to Kavil, can only he hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like looked around all shiftily. I cast a spell on him because the second we got into our fucking car, he started threatening to murder me if I didn't murder you guys. So instead of killing him, I decided to just sort of, make him my friend for an hour.
I'll look over again at that freaky type. Lifting now both eyebrows.
It's not like we need to be BFFs forever, okay? We didn't go to summer camp together.
Oh, we have to keep an eye on that one. Malachi's right.
Hey, he could be useful in the future. I mean, when he's not being a complete asshole, he's actually got a lot of useful information.
He wrote a poem about how many arms he will pull out of your body.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, this isn't a long-term friendship. I mean, I'm kind of hoping we'll get the fuck out of here before he becomes a problem.
We'll see. And I dress in the clothing that's prepared for us. Do I look fancy?
Good.
Are you asking me? I think you...
well, of course, yeah, probably as well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks tight.
Most important question though, are there panties?
Oh, I thought you had a stockpile. I thought we were gonna use it. I thought we were gonna make some cash before we left here, but
yeah, that's true.
I think now it's just time to leave.
I'm just trying to add some more pennies. You never know how long the rope has to be.
Just kind of shake my head as I slap my sleeves and look at this beautiful suit.
You all look quite good. You can see that's actually very well tailored. Fits quite beautifully. You do have a nice silken gown. Matches the skin tone perfectly.
I look at the others and I say, why does our good friend the warden do this?
Well, he's obviously trying to mess with us. I think he's just trying to show us that he's the one who really controls the power, and if we want to move up in this place, we need to do what he says. But I mean, really, we're not planning on staying here, are we, guys? And I look around. Like,
I'm not planning on a career here.
No, I mean, like, we need to get out of here ASAP. We need to go.
I'm not leaving without my sister.
We'll find her.
We're not leaving. We're not leaving without anyone. We need to get Quinn and go.
All the while, you can see Corodal just glares at you, but really doesn't say anything. Snorts a few times, and puts on this massive black suit that he's wearing, white vestments, and a small little red bow tie. Matches quite well with Malachi. little while will pass, and you'll hear the rap on the door, this heavy iron door in front of you, and the sound of keys jangling. It'll open up. There's 2 sentinels standing there, and the warden himself. And he looks, you've dressed beautifully, beautifully. And he'll come in, walking across, and seems to nod, looking at Kavil, Malachi, Coradal, and then lastly you, Mithra, and he'll step forward and reach out his hand to take yours, to softly kiss it on the back. My dear, you look absolutely stunning. Come, won't you all have dinner with me? He says, before you decide to act out, perhaps try to get yourselves in solitary to save your friend. Let me just say that she is perfectly fine. In fact, you will see her back in your primary cells this evening. She'd look a little worse for wear, and perhaps a little thinner. But she won't be headed to the kitchen, don't you worry. So come, let us have a bite to eat, and let me explain a few things to you. I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah, man.
I glance really quickly at Malachi and I just nod very slightly. I would go last out of the room and I would look at the other two, so Malachi and Mithra, and I would like to discern if one of them is still like a little bit, not healthy. Or not full health. Out of character, so are we missing a bunch of hit points or are we good?
I'm feeling well enough, but
What
not
about
great.
Mithra?
Sorry, I had myself muted. Didn't even realize. I was asking. After we got knocked out, how did that work for our HP? I wasn't really clear on that. Sorry.
So you do a short rest. You're going to have 2 hit dice because you're level 2. What's a wizard? 6. So you can have 2d6 if you wanted to roll 6-sided dice. You gain back that many hit points. You can spend just 1 die, or you can spend both of them.
Okay. Otherwise, I won't wake up out of consciousness?
You would just basically go back to 1 hit point when you wake up.
Oh, okay.
Because it wasn't lethal or anything, so you don't need like death saves or nothing like that.
Okay. So how many times? And I can only do this twice?
Yep. So you're going to have 2d6 to roll. And you can spend up to 2, but you can spend 1 if you want. Whatever you want to do, really. But
Okay.
You can spend
I'll
both of
roll
them,
1
probably.
first and see how that goes. And all right. Well, that was a 4, so I'll just leave it at 4.
How many hit points do you
I'm assuming I was at 0, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'm at 4 now then. But
What's your max?
15.
Oh, okay. So as you pass by Kavil, you probably see from the corner of your eye like a red, sicklish glow. He just touches your shoulder, and you feel probably like some nasty thing just touched your skin. It's a weird feeling, but you immediately feel better somehow.
Ooh.
And you would get back, let's say, 6. So I can do that. I can spend or give 10 hit points all over, I can spend max 10 points, and I would give her 6.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I'm at 10 now.
Yep.
Yay. Thanks, Kavil. Look at us. We're bonding already.
Just an icky sort of bonding.
Yeah.
And with that, the warden will lead you down the hall. You can see that wherever you are within this prison is actually quite immaculate. There's these long tapestries that cover the wall that show all sorts of different knightly orders marching on open fields and like just typical scenery of the land and stuff like that. Nothing really of importance, just nice artwork lining the walls. You go by several different smaller rooms, like the one you were in, seemed to be some sort of guest rooms or something. At the end of the hall, he'll open the door and hold it open for all of you to enter into, and you can see it looks to be an office of some sort. This large, high, leather-backed chair behind this huge oaken desk. Off to the side is a table full of all sorts of good, tasty morsels. Looks like a large, steaming heap of meat, rolls, butter, fruits, cheeses, everything laid out nicely, plates and everything scattered around it. Just go ahead and get some food, chitter-chatter a little bit, and then we will get down to business. He'll let the door swing closed behind you. There is no sentinels in the room besides just him and the four of you. And he'll go over filling up his plate, really oblivious to all of you. He piles all this meat and everything on this roll and takes a seat, just watching you in interest. What do you guys do?
The one thing the Academy taught Malachi was to have table manners. So he'll grab his first plate and he'll execute a very well-mannered entrance to this dinner. Sit down at the table, nod to the warden, and start to eat.
I'll look a little bit suspiciously at the warden, but I start filling my plate, a little bit at least, and start eating. And I say suddenly, "You want something?"
Says, of course I do.
I smile, a bitter smile.
I thought you don't make deals.
Says, no, I don't make deals. I give commands. But you look like the type of people that will be able to do just what I need. Go ahead and eat up. Finish this. Why? We can even have a bit of wine. Neil claps his hands a couple times. You see the door open. A sentinel come in with a couple bottles of chilled wine that he'll pour into the glasses for you. Says, Mithra, we don't get many drow here in Skrimshaw. As I looked over your forms, it's quite an interesting journey you had. Quite interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on ending up here, but I mean, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure indeed. Perhaps you and I will have to have a chat sometime.
Chat about what?
That's not important right now. Go ahead. Make yourself a plate. I'm sure some of these morsels you haven't had in your time in the caves, I would highly suggest the boar's head over there. Tasty, tasty on a roll.
Thank you. I'm going to do just that. Thanks for having me here. And I'm going to... Can I... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go over and grab a plate of food. And I'm going to go and sit with Kavil and Malachi, who I assume are sitting together at this point. But I am going to smile at... That was the warden, right?
Yep.
I'm going to smile at him, and hopefully he feels it's genuine.
What was that, Kavil?
Oh, I'm not muted. Sorry, I almost fell from my chair.
You will have a nice dinner. It's actually very good food, very good wine. Probably haven't had it in quite a long time.
I'm going to drink a lot of wine.
In priorities.
Is there cigarettes here too?
If you want some, you can have anything you want.
Oh, wow.
Malachi will get up from the table and go get a second plate.
Down in solitary, when you leaning back against the wall, you'll hear yet again the sound of feet as they come down the hallway, shuffling along. This time they stop outside of your door. You can hear the jingle of keys. And down below, you see that little flap open up. A plate of food gets shoved underneath as it slides forward. smacking against your feet. And then it slips closed. You can hear muffled laughter outside the doorway. Food looks edible. Maybe some grits, a couple pieces of nasty cheese, a bit of moldy bread, but it's food. You've been in here quite a long time. Why don't you give me one more perception check?
All right. How many times can I fail it? I will eat enough food to get sustenance. 21 on the perception.
Notice two things as you've been sitting here for quite a while. The first is the small seam that runs all the way around the floor. Doesn't look like it quite connects to the walls around you, like it's been replaced or something. It also slants down to the corner. I guess it would be the back left corner to your left. It seems to slant that way just a little bit. Maybe you were playing with a coin or marble or something in your pocket that you might have, but it'll always roll to that corner. The other thing is your little plate of food as you pick up and eat around the mold on the bread and spoon off some of the grits. There's a soggy piece of paper at the bottom of it with writing on it.
Definitely open up the note and read it.
It says, every floor is but one story. And like all stories, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
I'll ponder that for a moment and go investigate the corner.
Outside of this doorway, you can hear the shuffling of feet, and then a thump. It sounds almost like somebody leans up against your door. It kind of shifts just a little bit. You hear him outside. Oh, that's Blackerly. He's a damned thief. That game was rigged last night. Well, if it's rigged, then why do you keep going back to the gatehouse then? Says, the beer is passable. And you hear them, both of them laugh quite loud. Oh, you're drinking on duty again. Damn, this place has gone to hell. Captain Caladan would have never tolerated that crap. That's for sure. Captain Caladan, he left, what, 2 years ago? Almost 3. Since then, this place has went straight down the shitter. Did you see what they did to the pit racers? He says, it's absurd. Says that old wizard never leaves his tower. He stays up there reading the books and petting his owl. Says, petting his owl? Is that what they call it these days? And both of them let out this loud laugh. You can hear their feet start stomping away. Besides you, look around. Notice this corner sunk in a little bit. It seems like this cell that you're in has been cobbled together a little bit. Mentioned that Coyote seems to be counting the stones, and Cantos too mentioned his stone, but yours isn't stone, it's all metal. Tapping on the floor, though, you can sound that it sounds almost hollow underneath yours. The walls and stuff don't, but the floor itself does. Not quite sure why you would have an iron cell, but what do you do?
Can I do an investigation check on the cell itself?
What are you looking for?
Definitely inspecting that seam in the corner where everything seems to be gravitating to.
Yeah, give me an investigation.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a fail.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Well, the 10, but I'm assuming that's not that good.
Yeah, you don't really notice anything different. It definitely looks like, you're standing on the floor and there's really not much room to move, but it seems like the floor itself could be pried up or something if you could get something in there, but being that you're standing on the floor, you obviously can't.
What did the note say again?
It says, every floor is but one story, and like all stories, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'll put that in chat, actually.
Cool. All I will yell over to Cantos and say, "Hey, are you up?"
Couldn't sleep with those damn guards out there laughing and making up their crap. What do you want?
Yeah. Well, how long have you been here for?
Far too long. Probably as long as you. Maybe 5, 6 hours now.
No, I meant in the jail overall.
Oh, well, you need to say that then. Since I was 24. 10 years now. 10 long years.
What were those guards talking about? Captain Caladan and the wizard.
Caladan was a former warden. He held a rider out of Elturel. He was fair. I mean, he did his job well. He didn't give us much respect, but he treated us like humans, like living people, unlike Warden Bartel. But Captain Caladan retired a few years ago, and with that, the warden, the new one, took over. Yes, they're not lying. We don't see him very often unless he's watching over top of the shock boxes, pitting inmates against one another, calling up, his favorites to his office to have dinner and seduce.
You guys keep talking about how your cells are stone. Do you have any clue why mine would be metal? It seems like it's hollow almost.
Yeah. Well, I've only heard stories, but says there's one of those fellows. What is his name? Golos. Yes, Golos. He has a bit of a reputation around here. He's often thrown into solitary, but well, he has fists like concrete that can bust through. He probably got stuck in one of the cells modified for him. I heard a story once that they threw him into solitary. Went the next morning to go get him, and he wasn't there. Just a hole in the floor. They found him down in the sewers, stumbling about, saying something about a giant crocodile.
That's interesting. They were talking about... Did they say another name, or was it just Caladan and Warden Bartel?
Captain Caladan, yep, and Warden Bartel.
I thought there was one other guy.
Mentioned. Blackerly. It says Blackerly is a damned thief. The game was rigged last night.
Blackardly or Lackardly?
Blackerly. Black, E-R-L-Y.
And I'll ask him if he knows who that is, just another guard.
I'm assuming so. I don't know. I've never heard the name.
All right. I will go back to my cell and I guess I will focus on a ritual just by chance and spend a minute. Oh, I can't even. Damn. Never mind. I need stuff.
What are you trying to do?
I was going to cast Identify as a ritual, but I need a pearl worth 100 gold and shit, so I don't think that would make sense that I could do it.
Yeah, I mean, look, this doesn't seem like it would really help you too much. Sort of get things in order to do it, but yeah, without a pearl, you might get a light reading or something, or be able to kind of tell something, but not anything major.
I will, I guess if I'm just going to be down here for a while, start focusing my concentration, and basically my eyes start to turn this piercing blue and the temperature of the chamber drops a little bit. My hands begin to look like cracked ice is forming over it. And I'll hold my hands against the floor where it sounds hollow and just continually in the corner channel Ray of Frost for a while and see if I could maybe make the metal brittle.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'll do that. Natural 19, so 26.
So it takes a while. This actually helps with the heat itself too. It is getting quite sweltering down here as you frost things up a little bit, and it slowly crawls up the walls and cools this small chamber down to a more comfortable level. Getting colder and colder though as you do it, and it doesn't really make the metal itself much brittler, but as you start to build up this ice in the corner, you can see the floor starts to kind of kick up a little bit, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. Eventually you're able to get your fingers back in there, and it seems to be an iron, so it doesn't really bend easily or anything, but the ice buildup underneath this floor plate is definitely lifting the floor plate up. How about just give me a 1d20 roll?
Natural 20.
Beautiful. Well, you know, around anybody to inspire them. But you're going to, with your weight on one side, you'd be able to just keep channeling this. Eventually, even the iron itself starts to give away a little bit. You see a few small fissures start to come across. The dampness from this ice begins to corrode around the outside, rusting it back a little bit, and it'll flake off. It takes a long time, but you've been down here for quite a while, so it doesn't really matter. Eventually, you're able to get it so it eventually splits right down the center from one side to the other, and this whole plate, the back side of the plate towards the back of your small cell, snaps free. You can see that underneath it was at one point a stone floor, but now it's all just crumbled apart, and it looks like a huge hole has been pounded through it. This cold breeze comes up through, and you smell sea air, like salty, musty sea air coming through. Down below you is nothing but darkness.
I will do a perception check first to make sure I hear no one coming. I roll 18.
Nope. Seems quiet out there at the moment.
And then I will minor illusion and send a droplet of light kind of sending down. It goes 30 feet. It's my range.
It drops down about 10 feet before you see the floor below. It's a small tunnel, it looks like. You can't really see much beyond where you're at. It'd be quite hard to fit down there as well unless you try to move the other plate out of the way that's still kind of there. But it looks like a tunnel of some sort is below you. Natural, cavernous, so it's rough hewn stone and stuff.
Okay. And if I get the sense, because like right now it's just like a little tiny crack, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get the sense that if I stayed at this for a while, I could really make a hole.
You'd be able to pry it up enough and kind of shift your weight to the other side. You could probably pull it up and over, or at least out of the way to get down there if you wanted to.
Just trying to think. I will yell out to Coyote. Hey, Coyote, you said you've been sent down to solitary all the time, right?
Every damn day. They're always sending me down here. You know what it is, Quinn. It is a damn god. I don't know his name.
Wait a second. I got a question for you. Do they keep putting you in the same cell? You say you count the stones. Is it exactly the same cell every time?
Once in a while, it's another one, but I say perhaps 114% of the time it is in this one, yes.
Interesting. All right. How long do they normally keep you down here before they let you out?
Well, it depends on how bad I am. Sometimes it's only a little while. Sometimes it's only a day. It depends on how much you piss them off, of course, but probably only a little while, so.
Right.
It depends on, if I tried to kill the guard or not. I didn't try this time. I just gave him a wet willy and then they threw me down here.
All right, and I'll tell him to all right, thanks, go back to sleep. And what I would like to do, I'm not sure if I'm getting the image right, but there's like a plate underneath. So if I could, I'd like to not destroy the plate, but grow the ice underneath it now so that I can pop it up eventually. But then when I don't need to, I can put it back down so it looks mostly undisturbed.
Yeah, with a 20, you can slowly work your way around the seam, sort of prying the whole plate up a little bit, probably clambering over it and eventually just lifting the whole thing up. It's going to take quite a while, but yeah, for sure.
All right.
So as you're working on that, you'll swing back over to the others, finishing up your meal, drinking the last of your wine.
6th plate now for Malachi.
The warden has sat back and puts his hands over this great belly that he has, waiting patiently, quite pleasantly, for you all to finish. Mithra being a wizard, if you look around, you can see that one whole wall is a bookshelf of all sorts of arcane tomes and stuff. They don't look like spell books, but just like studies about the arcane and different rituals and different schools of teaching and things like that. Malachi might recognize them as well. And there's small trinkets here and there scattered about, knickknacks. Once you all finish and have your bit of wine, he'll lean forward and, so, who would like to have a bit of a chat and talk about things? You know, you all put on a hell of a race. I'm quite impressed, especially you, Mithra and Corridon. Here you are, trailing in the back, picking on them poor goblins. I don't even know where these goblins come from. They just all of a sudden showed up and they wanted to be in the race. I don't understand these stupid things. But hey, goblins are always good for a laugh. Well, I'm glad you dealt them a few blows anyway, and then boom, it's like you came out from behind and charged ahead and took 3rd place. That was quite impressive. You know, the fans, they liked that.
Let's just say I had a really good driver.
You see Corridon look over at you, this glare on his face. It just gives you he says, and Malachi and Kavir coming up through with the Gorgon, and man, says, you know, I really thought your sister had it, Malachi. I really did. She was up there at the lead. Did you see what happened? It was like Kantos just slams on the brake, and she goes flying out there. The damn red wheel almost ran her over. It was quite a scene.
A little weird way to end a race, I guess.
It is. Wonder what was going on in that wagon. Perhaps they were coming to blows and arguing a bit. Who knows? It was quite entertaining nonetheless. Did you see the rat wheel? It came to a stop just inches, and those silly little critters, they got out and started pushing the wheel. It was for a good laugh. I had a great ha-ha. Deep from the belly, I don't think I've laughed. I think I peed a little when I laughed so hard. So, can't wait for the next one. But we're not talking about that now, are we? Well, perhaps we will. What was your favorite part of the race, Malachi? What was your favorite part?
Gonna have to say the part where we won.
Yes, that makes sense. Always the humble host you should be, yes. Well then. He looks all of you. His face goes slack a little bit, and he leans forward. Says, I have a job. And I need it done. And I need it done quick. Says, I've looked over your transcripts. I saw how you acted here in the prison. And he'll look at Corridon. Says, I don't think this is the job for you, Corridon. You are much better in the shock boxing ring and behind the wheel of the roller dozer. You can have the evening off. Go play with your friends. This is it. You deserve that meal. Take a plate to go, my friend. Take a plate to go. Corridon will look over at you, Mithra. You can see his lip curl a little bit. And he'll lean in. I'll see you in the morning, Mithra. In the morning. He'll stand up, put this huge, heavy orc hand on your shoulder and sort of grip it tight right on that pressure point for a moment and shake your shoulder a little bit as he passes by, fills up his plate, heads towards the door. He'll stop at the door again, though. Just stare back at you, give you a wink, and then start to head out.
All right. I'm just gonna wink back and then turn back to my friends.
Close the door behind him. Warden Bartrello, look at you. You seem to have made a bit of an enemy there, Mithra. How well do you know how to fight?
I'm not so much of a fighter. I think you could kind of tell that by the way I handle myself in the race, though. I still managed to do pretty well, so...
But I tell you what, when you get back to your cell, perhaps you should maybe punch a bag a bit and beat up on the pillow, because Corridor's sure to drag you to the ring. You might want to learn how to fight, but that is not important right now. Says, no, I have a favor that needs to be done. This isn't a deal. This isn't something I'm asking. I'm simply telling you. Says, we've had a few deaths here in the prison. I've seen you all handle yourselves in different ways, through spell, through strength, through charm. Says, hell, perhaps even Quinn could be in on this, but too bad she's down cooking away in solitary. But I tell you what, you all do this little favor for me, and I promise you, Warden's word, Quinn will be perfectly fine and back in her cell by morning.
What do you want?
I simply want you to go seek out a few individuals, take care of them, and throw them in the dead book.
With what?
Says, I got that figured out, don't you worry. Don't you worry. And in fact, you know what I'll do? If you do a good enough job, perhaps I'll even promote you. You'd like that, I'm sure. And says, looks around for a moment. You feel that? He puts his hands down on his desk. Says, do you feel that? If you all look, you can see your wine bottles or your wine glasses that are on the table start shaking a little bit, as if like little ripples across the top of the wine bottles. You can feel very, very slight shaking in the floorboards of this room. And he'll stand up, and looks around. Behind him, he'll throw this tapestry out of the way. You can see it's just a big open window that looks over top of a field, probably a good 500-600 feet below you. This green, expansive field that rolls out into hills in the distance. Probably the first time you saw daylight and freedom in quite a while. But yes, something seems to be shaking, and you can see these ripples on the glasses of the wine.
They're coming for you, Warden.
They ain't coming for anything. He looks around. Down in solitary, Quinn. Takes quite a while, but you're able to get that floor plate lifted up a little bit. Get your fingers underneath it and pry it up, lean it back against the wall a little. This hole in the floor looks like it's been just completely torn apart by like sledgehammers or pickaxes or something. This hole, about almost the entire floor side, you could fit down there quite easily if you drop your illusion spell down through. Again, it just drops down into like a natural tunnel about 10 feet below you.
I am going to ask Coyote if he could do me a favor. Hey, I need your help with something.
For Quinn, I'd do anything, but you had to promise me that you'll do me a favor too.
Oh, yeah, of course. I got you.
So I scratch your back, you scratch my... Actually, you can scratch behind my ear and I'll scratch your back.
Yeah, definitely. But here's the thing. If you
makes
hear
my leg
someone
shake a little
coming,
bit, though.
I want you to make as much noise as you possibly can. And if you get a guard's attention, I think you should probably kick him in the nuts. And just be as loud and obnoxious as you possibly can be.
What do you want me to do that for? I'll probably get stuck down here another day.
Well, no, because I got your back. I'll help you out.
What are you going to do to help me out?
Trust me, I got your back. Like to persuade him.
Go for it.
Not very charismatic, but I rolled a natural 18, so
Okay, Quinn.
just think, like that guard, he's been on your back for so long. Just think of how good it would feel just to kick him in the nuts, like we've talked about. This is it. You've been planning for this moment for a long time, and it's time to start acting on it, okay?
Sorry, I've been brainstorming all day. Were you brainstorming? Do you got a plan?
Yeah. So just remember, if you hear someone coming, lots of noise.
All right. Very well, very well.
And then I'm going to start shimmying my way down the hole.
Drop down and sort of hang from the side, drop down to the tunnel below. In front of you, about 20 feet in front of you or so, imagine you're probably moving this little orb around a little bit. But directly ahead of you is the iron portcullis that slams down. It's already down on the ground, but it's dug quite deep into it. And just beyond that, another 10 feet are these huge wooden beams like you would see on railroad ties. Just massive. And they're going horizontally, but each end of these beams seems to be encased in this cavernous stone walls, as if the cavern almost grew around them. But there's 5 beams all running horizontal, basically making only about a foot in between each. So you'd have to really try to squeeze through, if you could at all, between those. And then this portcullis that's in front of those. But beyond both of those, you see a stairwell just barreling just briefly in the distance that leads upwards. And that's definitely where this soft, cool breeze, not a heavy wind or anything, just an occasional whiff of sea air that you smell coming from that way, this cool breeze. Behind you in the other direction, you can walk down 20, 30, 40 feet before you come to this cavernous cave-in. The whole tunnel itself seems to be caved in, but the ground is littered with bones. You guess maybe 30, 40 people worth of bones just piled there. The little tunnel itself is about 7 foot in diameter, natural tunnel, until you get to the stairwell on the other side. That looks like it was carved out.
There's no other exits or anything?
Nope, just those 2 things. One
And
side
if
is the cave-in, and the other side is the portcullis and this heavy wooden horizontal railroad tie wall type thing.
If I can do an investigation, can I try to get a sense of where I am, or maybe where this cave-in connects to?
Yeah, you can do an investigation.
Oh my god, I'm wasting all these rolls. Another natural 20 for 26.
It's hard to say. You're definitely pretty far below ground. You get the sense that from what you've heard too, solitary is at the base level of this prison.
All I'm wondering about is he mentioned in the story about Golos that he broke down and got scared of a crocodile. So I'm getting the sense that this somehow connects to where Frank is, and I'm just trying to see if I can.
Gotcha. If you look around, you can definitely see that the walls looks like they've been hammered out or something, and somebody caused this cave-in. It wasn't something natural. You can see the scuff marks and the bits on the walls. You have the sense you're still probably a fair distance away from where Frank would be, but it looks like somebody caused the cave-in. And the bones themselves are old, probably much older than this cavernous cave-in is.
All right. I'll go back and check the portcullises. They're obviously steady or stable.
Yeah, they're nice, heavy iron. The one comes down from the ceiling into the ground, and the tips of it are buried deep into the stonework. Get the sense. You can even see the bashings and something that's smashed against it quite a few times. It's solid made, whatever made this, probably dwarves of some sort, but it's solid. And then the other side of that, another 10 feet. You can't reach it, obviously, but on the other side of the portcullis ahead is the horizontal railroad tie type thing. You can smell this salty sea air. It's definitely coming from beyond there, though. And you've heard rumors that there's tunnels and mines beneath the prison that eventually lead out to the Sword Coast.
Yeah, I imagine I'm deeply inhaling the smell of the sea air. It's probably the freshest air I've smelt in a long time, even though it probably isn't that fresh. But in comparison to the prison, it is a breath of fresh air. I'll take a moment to lean against the bars and deeply inhale. Unless I'm getting a sense that there's anything else to investigate, like a natural 20 is pretty good. So I'm imagining that I checked the place pretty good.
Yep, there is one more thing you will notice. Maybe as you're walking back and forth and looking at this, you can feel the soft tremor at first, but it quickly begins to pick up. You can see dust drifting down from the ceiling, small little fissures here and there in the stonework. A couple rocks fall loose. You can hear the heavy clang of that metal plate in your cell above you as it tips over and smacks against part of the wall. And you'll hear Coyote begin to holler and hoot and howl like a dog in the distance. But this whole place just begins to shake violently.
All right, I will then quickly begin to shimmy my way up there. Back up the hole to get to where my cell is, and hopefully in time to hear what's going on with Coyote.
Give me an athletics check to pull yourself up in as everything starts to shake.
Oh boy, my best stat. 9.
You jump up, begin to pull yourself up. A couple of these stones fall free. You smack back down. Again, the wall starts crumbling a little bit around you. You can see up ahead, some where the stairwell is, a few more rocks fall. Though in the ground, just feels like an absolute earthquake as everything around you begins to crumble. Up in the warden's room, you will see these wine glasses begin to tremble a little bit more. One of them will tip over, spilling wine across his desk. And you can see the warden looks around behind you, and the door will swing open as sentinels start pouring in, looking almost as if you're causing this moment. But as they realize you guys are all as surprised about this as they are, they'll begin to look at the warden for what to do. He begins barking out orders, to take you guys back to your cells and to get people out front. Behind him, books begin to fall off the shelves. A few knickknacks roll across the floor. Bumping into your foot, Smithry, you'll see this small green orb about the size of an apple with this greenish fog rolling around inside of it.
So you said I can see a fog coming out of it?
Looks like it's trapped in almost like a marble, but about the size of an apple with like that green swirly stuff inside of it.
Can I, without actually touching it, can I see what type of magic this might be, or see if this would be dangerous for me to touch?
Do you have like a sense magic or something?
Actually, yes, I do have sense magic. I didn't think of that. I was just thinking about doing a check, but yeah, I'll use sense magic.
Yeah.
Yes. I sorry, I just don't have that one written down in this book. So I just don't know what I have to roll for it. Oh, I guess I could just use the sheet. It'll probably tell me.
No, you don't need to roll anything. Just a quick little mumble under your breath, and you can see whatever this thing is. There's actually quite a few magical trinkets around, but they're all in cases and stuff. The one that this was in seems to have broken and landed on the floor and rolled over to you, but it's a small, about the size of an apple or a baseball marble. There's this greenish glow to it. You can see that it is indeed magical. Pretty decent necromantic magic radiates off this thing.
Okay, so it's necromantic magic.
The warden will begin barking out orders. You can see the sentinels coming over towards all of you, reaching out to grab a hold of you and get you back to your cells as this whole building begins to shake violently. What do you all do?
I'm going to tell the other guys that about the necromancy magic, and I don't know. I'm worried. I think we should get out of here. We need to find a way out of here right now.
I'm gonna warn, or Malachi will look to the little green apple marble that Mithra points out. Will I be able to discern if it fell off the shelf, or if this just came through the wall, or how this got there?
Yep, you can see over in the corner one of these little, almost like a little glass trophy case has been
I'll snag it.
shattered.
If it's something like that, then I'll try to grab it and put it in my pocket as fast as I can, sleight of hand or whatever I have
Yep.
to do.
Sleight of hand, please.
You try? Ooh, that might work.
I am gonna just make sure that I told everyone, but just so you know, that could be dangerous.
Yeah,
I think you should take it. I think
necromantic's fine for me. That's a 14.
As you reach down and grab a hold of this thing, you sort of reach up to go put it into your pocket. You feel this heavy grip on your wrist. You look over and see a sentinel staring at you, and he looks down at your hand that has this small marble. Looks over his shoulder at Warden Bartel. Looks back at you. I'll let you take that if you do me a favor.
What do you need?
That guard who's always standing out in front of your cell, you know, the fat one with the black mustache.
Yeah, I've seen that slobby bastard before.
Says, yeah, just rough him up a little bit the next time you pass by, yeah. The little bastard stole my money.
Best shit I got, I gave it to him.
You know, look over at the warden. Warden's a dick anyway. And with that, he'll grab you by the back. He says, just follow my lead and I'll get you back to your cells safely. He says, I got these guys, Warden. I'll take them back. All of you, follow me. And you see all these sentinels come around, grabbing a hold of you guys and start leading you out the door. The warden will come out as well, but he turns off into a side room. You can hear him yelling to all these other people to figure out what the hell is going on as this building begins to shake like crazy. Do you do anything else?
Depending on who's outside my cell, I'll let you know.
And this shaking goes on for feels like minutes. It's hard to tell, though. Otherwise, the sentinels will lead all three of you down the halls, and everything seems to be in this chaotic sense. People running about. Some sentinels that are half look like they're bed sleeping or resting, half dressed, will come out. Other ones fully dressed and still on duty. This one guard actually breaks everybody off, starts sending them out, so it's just him leading the three of you. He'll come up and he's kind of holding the back of you, Malachi. He says, I'll get you back to your cells and make sure you're safe. And just him, but he's going to lead you all back towards your cell. Do you let him?
At this point, yeah. I've been promised that, if we do this shit for the warden, that my sister will be safe. I'm not planning on going anywhere without her, so yeah, I'd take the lead, but I'd be looking for this short, stubby, slobby bastard of a guard that I need to pound. And knowing that in prison you need to pay your debts or bad things happen, it would be the first thing that I'd want to do.
And how about Kavil and Mithra? Do you guys follow suit?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, he will lead all three of you back to yourself. By the time you reach the cell, this building will stop shaking. All the inmates are put into their cells. There's guards everywhere down through. You'll see that fat, slobby guy he's talking about, Malachi, the one with the little black porn stash. He'll put you in your cell. You can see the keys wrangle as he locks you guys up.
Before the door locks, can I bust the door open and just kind of slam the swinging gate into this fat, stubby bastard with the mustache?
Entirely.
And then if my hands are shackled, hopefully that'll surprise him enough that I can get on top of him somehow and just continually pound my shackled hands into his face over and over and over again.
Beautiful. Yeah, he'll put Kavil and Mithra, you guys, into one cell and across the way. He goes to push Malachi in, leaving the gate open just a hair for you, Malachi. He'll turn a blind eye in his back as he seems to be arguing with some of the other guards and some of the other inmates as you slide out and jump this guy. Down in this tunnel below you, Quinn. Eventually, a few times you're able to grab a hold of the slip above, pull yourself up. Outside, you can hear guards yelling. Sounds like they're passing by. You can hear the heavy footfalls as they're back and forth in front of your gate. able to put that plate back down just in time as you hear the keys outside your door and it swings open. You'll see 2 sentinels standing there. They'll reach in quickly and just grabbing a hold of you and dragging you out. Do you do anything?
Before they come and grab me, if I could, I would like to have caused minor illusion just to make the floor look the same.
Okay.
But other than that, no.
Yeah, they'll grab you. You can see a couple on Coyote dragging him out, Cantos, and you'll see 2 other people you haven't seen before as they grab them as well. One is a younger man, looks like he's possibly even into his late teens or early 20s at best. Baby-faced, not even a stubble bit of hair on his chin. This curly mop of hair. The other one is this older fellow. Nothing really stands out about him besides his grunginess. And each of you have 2 guards, so 10 guards on all 5 of you, and they'll quickly lead you down the hall. You can feel them put this heavy band around your eyes, blindfolding you. You feel the same trek up an elevator, upstairs, down halls as you turn in, and it takes a few moments, but you'll eventually feel this building begin to stop shaking as well, Quinn. You can hear a bit of yelling. It sounds like there's been quite a ruckus going on. Several of the guards even mention about some bastard who jumped Black early and beat the shit out of him in the main West Hall. When they finally take the blindfold off you, you just see you're standing in front of Malachi's cell. The guard will reach forward and snap a few keys, open it up, and slide you in, slamming it shut behind you. It's the same guard that led you here, Malachi, and he'll look at you, give you a bit of a wink, and turn and walk away, leaving Kavil and Mithra in one cell, Malachi and Quinn opposite them in the cell. This whole building no longer shakes, but every now and then you'll feel the slight shaking, slight aftershocks. Other than that, most of the inmates are just quiet, sitting in their cells, nobody really seeming to dare speak. Occasionally, you'll see guards walking back and forth down this hallway.
Hey, sis.
I will, after being chucked into the ground, our cell, and see him there come stumbling down, still muddy, bloodied, and broken and scratched. I'll kind of stand up, struggling to do so, but smile and say, thought you forgot about me.
Just couldn't get to you in time. Won't happen again.
No worries. I'm fine. And you can see that she's like struggling to stand on her own.
Quit whining.
I'll laugh. Fair.
So, what do you think this is? And underneath, the guys, I'm trying to hide the ball, but I hold the apple up to Quinn. See what she thinks. Maybe she can tell me, discern what's going on, what it is.
I mean, if you toss that over to me, I think I could, Wait, shit. No, I need my stuff. We need to get to the leisure basin.
All right, and I'll slide it back into my pants and make my bulge look better. Boop, boop.
I don't know if it compares to Kavil's panty bulge, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, I'm good with that right now.
I'll shake my head. You're like, what is it with men and their fucking bulges?
Kavil, you taking those panties with you when we go?
Well, of course.
All right. Well, I mean, you do you, girl. You do you.
Who's the girl here?
Sorry, it was just a joke. I still laugh quietly when he looks away. You're wearing women's underwear. What do you want me to say?
So, I just want to point this out. Nobody else won the race. I'd look over to Kavil and kind of wink. If you're not first, you're last, right?
I was high when I said that. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
So what'd you win, brother?
We got dinner, which is nice, I guess, and offered a job that I really wasn't listening to.
Sounds like you had it fucking worse than me. What's this job he offered you?
I look over to Cavill and Mithra because I really wasn't listening, and the computer was fucking up, so I could only catch little parts of it.
He wanted you to seek out some people that were causing murders in the prison, but never really got to divulge too much information before this earthquake started.
That would be passed on to best I could to Quinn, and then I would probably look to Cavill and Mithra for more info just because I thought that I would be missing things.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a wonderful reward for helping him out, I'll say sarcastically. I, on the other hand, had an absolutely wonderful time in solitary confinement. And then again, as I'm looking around, making sure no one's listening, I will begin to chant and, or not even chant, just basically trace my hand out. And with minor illusion, I will create a piece of script that has on it written, I think I found a way out, and just pass it to Malachi, and just put my fingers to my lips, not to say anything.
Cavill, Mithra, and Malachi. Everybody give me a perception roll. Actually, Quinn too. Everybody give me a perception roll.
Nat 20 plus... well, nat 20 plus something.
Nat 1.
And,
Oh, no.
11.
Not natural 20.
and how are you so perceptive, Mithra? Because you can give somebody a point of inspiration with that.
Oh, okay.
I think the only one that used it is Quinn.
Okay, I'll give Quinn one.
And Cavill, yes.
I got one back already.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got
sweet.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give Quinn one.
Yeah, right. As you look around, quite noticing perhaps that something seems off, Mithra, you'll see a few things. But Malachi, what did you get?
Not natural 20. 17 plus 3.
And Cavill, what did you get?
11.
All right, so Cavill, you're too busy maybe looking at your fingernails or something, or you're admiring your panties at the moment. And Quinn, what did you get?
Natural 1, so 4 in total.
Oh, you got a 1? Well, thank you. I'm going to take that inspiration.
Anytime, buddy.
Yeah. With that, Quinn, you don't notice either as you're making the spell and passing it over. Mithra, you're going to notice two things. One, the back of Quinn is just covered in blood. You can see that in some areas it's kind of ripped a little bit and shredded, but it looks like there's writing all over her back. And second, across the way, even though these guys are directly across from you, one cell to their left, you'll see a man leaning up against the stone of his cell, looking across. You see the spiderweb tattoo covering one side of his face, and this other tattoo on his chest of what looks like a heart and an iron cage. You've seen this man before, as he was recently once with you. Sudeikis is his name. He seems to be listening in on all of this with a bit of interest, but not saying anything. And Malachi, you two would notice the writing or the scars on your sister's back that's all bloodied and scabbed over.
If they were in forms of letters, I would be able to read them. If it was any form of text, I'd be able to read it.
Oh, yes. It is. Looks like to be some sort of abyssal writing. Something about a contract.
So did you make a deal with someone, sis?
No. What are you talking about?
Well, you got a contract spelled out on your back in blood. So what was that answer again?
I'm going to roll deception right now. I rolled an 8.
What do I need to roll?
Say probably insight. But
Yeah,
that's
insight.
up to Morgan. I will say, I don't know what you're talking about. You're probably just being crazy. Like I just got chucked out of the fucking car. It's probably just scars.
Listen, you think you're fucking smart, but I know you're lying to me. Just
Since
fucking
when
tell
did
me what
you
the hell's
know how
going
to
on.
read Abyssal anyways? What kind of bullshit is this?
Don't even fucking change the subject. Doesn't matter. What's going on?
Listen, I don't really fucking know what's going on, but I think I have a way out of here.
What the fuck is on your back?
And that's all that matters.
What's your way out? Jesus Christ, you're stubborn. What's your fucking way out?
I don't know if I should say it here. Like, listen, it's not that I don't trust you. You know that, but...
Fine, whatever. Can't even fucking tell me anything. Listen, why don't you just fucking clean yourself up? Go to bed. Fuck off.
You're cranky today.
Yeah, more than usual.
Noticed, why the fuck do you look so fat? What'd you eat out there? Your belly is just bulging right now.
Listen, I had a chance. I took advantage of it, okay? Probably won't come around again for a while.
I'm glad you had a fucking feast.
Well, I drank like 4 bottles of wine, too. It was great.
You drunk right now, you asshole?
Shut up, leave me alone.
He's a grumpy drunk.
I'll tell you about it, but basically, I made a deal, and I think it's going to get us out of here.
Well, if you think that I don't want to know more about this fucking back thing, you're wrong. I'm not going to let it go.
I know,
Good
I'll
night.
tell you. Good night.
Night. Love you.
I will, as you go to sleep, I'll kind of turn myself away, being like, you're an ass, and I will again play the Minor Illusion song, and you'll remember it as the childhood
I will
music
fucking
box.
shock up. I'll jump straight up onto my feet and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Just like, what's your problem?
Maybe we have different views of that song.
Maybe. I'll just like look at you. All right. Sorry, I guess.
Just brings back fucking bad memories. I hated that place.
You think I enjoyed it?
Well,
That
fuck.
doesn't mean we can run from it. What, you think that you can just pretend it didn't happen?
No, it just kind of shocked me, right? I wasn't expecting to hear that in the bottom of this fucking hellhole.
No.
Now I'm going to associate this hellhole with that hellhole. You just ruined the whole fucking night.
Well, I'm glad, because the fucking night was going so great. You know, it was just a great time. I had a fucking feast and got drunk. No, I didn't. I was in a cell, rotting, and fucking got thrown out of a goddamn car and almost died. But I'm sorry,
hell
you're
happened
having a
there?
bad night.
What did
Fuck
happen
you,
there?
I'm going to bed. And I'll turn over and...
Alright, fine.
Malachi is the first to quickly fall asleep. And Kavil, as you're sitting there, you'll hear these footfalls coming down the hall. You'll see a sentinel stop in front of your gate, point at you, Kavil. Yo, the warden has called and wishes to speak with you. Come along.
Should I bring panties or not? I say as I get up.
He would like that.
I bet he does.
He'll slide the seat. He'll point at you, Mithra, telling you to back up as he opens up the gate, takes Kavil, starts taking you down the hall. You can hear, as you walk, Kavil, you see another guard pass. As he goes back, this one stops in front of Quinn and Malachi's cell. Raps on the bars a few times with this heavy baton. Which one of you is Quinn? The hell kind of name is that? Could go be a boy or a girl. Which one of you is Quinn?
What the fuck do you want to know for? Wake up, groggy.
Has a visitor.
Bring her here.
No, must be at the guest's office. Which one of you is Quinn?
You dipshit. I'm trying to sleep here.
Says we don't have time. Seems your mistress has had a death. Come along.
Sorry.
Jiggle his keys, slide the cell out, open up the door, and wave you forward, Quinn.
I will look at my brother. Like, what the fuck did he say? What did he actually say? I missed it.
He says your mistress had a death.
My mistress. Okay, cool.
What is happening?
I'm equally as confused as you probably, but do I know what he's talking about?
Nope.
Okay, yeah, I'll be like, just Mel said I'll be fine to Malachi, and I'm gonna follow him.
I'll try to follow her out quickly, but probably won't work out, imagine.
Yeah, he'll obviously sort of ready for that thing. Slams it shut, nearly catching your fingers. Says, no, you're not Quinn. I'll come back for you, though. He'll turn and lead you down the hall, Quinn. Up ahead, you can see Kavil as he enters the stairwell and turns to the left. The guard takes you to the right, though. Kavil, you pretty much pass by the same thing as you get the sense that you're heading down to the main leisure basin there. As you come around the corner, you can see the warding sitting at one of the tables. He's the only one down here. There's nobody else besides this one sentinel leading you. And he'll stop actually on the stairwell and point ahead and says, the one, he wants to speak with you. And he'll sort of just motion you forward, Kavil, as he turns and starts walking back up the stairwell. The warden will smile and sort of wave his hand a little bit as if, he's pointing himself out in a crowd of people.
Yeah, slowly walk into his direction.
Motion for you to have a seat, and this wide smile on his face. On the other side, Quinn, the guard will turn, lead you down the hallway and into a side room. You've seen some of the others come here, and it's basically just a simple visiting hall when family or friends might come in to visit some people. It's always done in secrecy of some sort, since nobody truly knows where this prison is. But you do see a woman sitting at a table, slightly pointed ears and bright platinum blonde hair. Quite beautiful. Green eyes and this elven skin tone. She wears a simple white veil over her eyes and her face, and she sits there in a black gown. The guard will stop at the doorway and go motion for you to go ahead. This woman will stand up at her table waiting for you.
I don't recognize her.
You do not.
I will approach and in Elvish, because that's a language that I speak, say, "Who the hell are you?"
She'll look at you and says, "Oh, dearest. I'm so relieved that you're alive." She turns to the guard and says, "Please, won't you let us be a few moments, good sir?"
Oh shit, I thought he already left. My bad.
For pity's sake. And this guard will turn and shuffle away. This woman comes back. Says, have you forgotten me, my dear, already?
I mean, it would seem so. Who are you? What do you want? All in Elvish.
Speak in Elvish. I didn't quite expect that. That's a useful tool. Yes, that's quite useful.
Learned it in the academy.
Academy. Haven't been there yet myself. You can call me Leodora. We possess a mutual friend who would like to meet you. And your cellmates.
Leodora. That sounds strangely... that sounds so familiar. Coincidence? I'll kind of stare at her, giving like the just staring into the eyes more than anything.
Oh yeah, you will recognize those eyes once you really stare at them.
Back so soon. I didn't expect you. What, you miss me?
Didn't expect it either, my dear. Not at all. It's been a bit of a complication.
Yeah, you can say that again. What the fuck did you write this script on my back for? Doesn't that break a clause? Isn't there something in this where you're not supposed to talk about it? I'm not supposed to talk about it? That's a great way to hide it. Posting it on my back.
I didn't say a word. I would expect you not to as well. We don't want to break things, of course.
Yeah, I'll just not say anything as it's written all over my back. Thanks, asshole.
It's okay. You're welcome. But enough of this. It's a bit of a complication. I figured I would at least do you the favor to come here and alert you to what has happened. You know, in case you go to try and achieve your task and realize you can't. So it's the one you're searching for is no longer in Elturel. In fact, Elturel is gone. You're going to need to go to Baldur's Gate. She'll stand up. You can see the guard coming around the corner. You quickly see that she turns, beginning to sob into her sleeve a little bit, and turns. My dearest, it's such an unfortunate. How are we going to deal with this death? She'll look at you.
What are you playing at right now? I'll kind of whisper to her. What do you mean El Terrell's gone? Do I know of El Terrell? Much about it?
You know that it's a holy city west of, or I guess it should be east of Baldur's Gate. Known as a major city that reveres Torm.
All right, religious city that reveals Torm. How does a city just disappear?
That I do not have answers for. It's not my job. I'm simply here to let you know and to help you out that your task is in Baldur's Gate, not in Elturel.
So this Rhea is in Baldur's Gate now.
Someplace, somewhere. And he'll walk forward, or she will, laying a hand on your shoulder. But I must go, my dearest. He reaches up and wipes his eye, this tear off, or she does, I'm sorry, and pulls off this white veil, laying it over your shoulder. Goodbye, my love. She starts walking away. She'll caress the cheek of this guard as she passes by, and you see he just falls to the floor, weeping. And she'll disappear around the corner. Down in the leisure basin, Cavill. The warden sits across the table. We have a deal, Cavill. We didn't quite get to discuss the matters at hand. I think you would be most up for this task as a paladin of Asmodeus. I think you might revel in this job, in fact, and perhaps love it, enjoy it.
You know nothing.
No. I have a job for you. You've heard of the Dead Three, right? And you give me a history check.
History. Oh, -1, so 11.
So you've heard of the Dead Three, not exactly sure what they are, but you know it is a cult of fanatics that revere three evil gods. You know that Baal is one of them, but you can't quite remember what the other ones are.
Huh. What about it?
He says, well, as a follower of Asmodeus, I'm sure that you don't want these cultists revering the demons and worshipping them running about the place, right? I mean, it's contrary to everything you stand for.
Listen, I didn't get a message from the boss that he's being pained by that. Why are you?
Well, what do you think this is? Do you think I'm just blowing this out of my ass? Says you and I, we have more in common than you think.
Are you telling me you are the message?
Well, nobody else is here telling you this. Very perceptive of you.
Again, that eyebrow lift. And what does the message say?
Well, from what I understand, your fellow patrons, those you follow, the devils, they have a bit of a feud with the demons. Well, we can't have demon cultists running around this place, sacrificing and killing people for their own cause. I mean, it's unseemly of the place, right? We don't want the chaos. This is a place of law and order.
Yeah. While I'm cuffing, I try to. I look at him very perceptively. I try to see if he's carrying the same tattoo as I do somewhere.
Give me investigation.
15 on the die plus. Oh dang, -1, so 14.
You will see right in the corner, it looks more like a scar, but right next to his left eye, just a small inverted pentagram.
I groan. No, we don't want that, of course. Not.
This is excellent. I'm going to make you leader of this little task at hand. So you can take your friends, the girl, both of them, and that buffoon of a man that walks around with you. You know, there's something odd about him. I'm not sure what it is. I expect all four of you, to hunt down these fellows and quickly eliminate them. In doing so, I will make you honorary sentinels. You will not be able to leave this floor, this western chamber in the basin, but you also won't be sent to work in the kitchen, the sewers, janitorial, what have you. I want you to seek out these cultists, eliminate them one by one, and if you can do that, perhaps something will happen in your favor. He'll reach out his hand.
I'll lean a little bit on the table, almost reaching out with my hand as well. But I stare at him for a moment, and I say, "What exactly are you for the boss?"
I'm what you would call a lord. Whether you believe him or not, Kavil, is sort of up to you, but you do know that Asmodeus rules over the ninth layer. Lords are those who rule over each of the other 8.
Which basically means that I'm sitting in front of a devil. My face freezes just for a split second, and I take his hand. Deal.
I thought so.
It sounds a little bit girlish. It sounds more like, deal.
This is excellent. I expect this to go quite smoothly. You will be in charge of the others. Be sure that they listen and follow your orders. Squash this cult as quickly as you can. Perhaps there will be something in it for you. You would be quite pleased with your services.
Of course.
It's his best if you don't give away your this deal, so you should head back up to your cages. I will see you in the morning. He'll stand up, turn away, and just walk away, these heavy footfalls sort of clacking across the floor. He'll disappear into the darkness beyond.
Yeah, I get up from the table and I look a little bit baffled. I search for... Is Quinn still there?
She went down a different hallway and into a different room.
Right, yeah, true.
I would imagine, though, as you sort of come around the corner, you will see her coming out of the room as you're sort of coming around, so both of you crossed from each other.
Yeah, I would close up to her and we're probably walking back to our little home, sweet home. And I'll look down, she's probably smaller than I, and I'll whisper, "We have a problem."
I will whisper back, yeah, no shit.
No shit.
The guard behind you, both of them, each one that led you away, will take you back up the stairs, down the western wing to your cells, letting you in and shutting them, locking them behind you, disappearing back to wherever it is they go. I think that would be an excellent place to end it for this evening.
Just a question.
Very cool.
Did the guard say a paladin of Asmodeus in front of the others? I can't remember.
No, he did not that I recall, no.
Okay, good.
Just when he was speaking with you, so no.
Okay, good.